Hello everyone, this is Mumbo and welcome back to another Minecraft video, and in this one we're going to be getting informative because I'm going to be telling you guys 60 different facts about Minecraft Redstone. Now I like to think that over the years I've picked up a decent quantity of information about the red stuff. I mean, you would have thought I would have done. I've based my entire YouTube channel around building various different redstone contraptions, so I would say I have a decent batch of knowledge up in my brain box right here, which I thought I would share with you in today's video. But before we begin, I just want to issue you guys a bit of a challenge. I want you to count up the number of facts that you know from today's video. So if I say something you already know, then count it up, tally it down on a piece of paper if you really want to, and at the end of today's video, I want you to put your finished number down in the comment section. Now, if you knew all 60 facts, then I'm really sorry for wasting your time. But the good news is that you are a redstone professional, and I will be sending your redstone crown in the post at some point, potentially, maybe, but probably not, to be honest with you. And with that information, let's crack on. Redstone was first introduced into the game on July the 3rd, 2010, and the update was known as Alpha 1.0.1, also known as the Secret Friday Update number 3. It was added alongside redstone ore, redstone torches, stone buttons, and also iron doors as well. Those were the original sets of redstone components. When it was first introduced, if you walked on top of a redstone line, it would break under your feet, which I can imagine would be the most infuriating thing in the history of mankind if you were working on a large redstone circuit. It also wasn't originally called redstone until July 9th, 2010, or Alpha 1.0.4. Originally, it was called red ore. Inverting redstone signals is something that we use all the time in various different redstone contraptions, and it actually makes up the fundamentals of logic in the redstone system, but it wasn't given this ability until 3 days after the initial introduction of redstone, also known as update 1.0.2_01. Yeah, not the most memorable of updates. Because there are no repeaters in the game, we actually had to build them a little bit like this, using torch inverters going along a line just like that. Ah, those were the days. The next redstone components that were added were the dispenser, which would dispense out items, and the note block, which would play notes. Yeah, I realise now that those explanations really weren't needed, but they were added on January the 13th, 2011, which is 194 days after the original redstone was added. The note block can play 24 different notes in total. The note block plays a different instrument depending on what block it is standing on top of. So for example, on top of glass, it should make a click. On top of dirt, it should make a piano noise. On top of stone, it should make a bass drum. And on top of sand, it should make a snare. If a block is placed on top of the note block, it won't make any noise whatsoever, as if the block is just covering up the speakers, as you can see right here. Not necessarily redstone related, but the note block can be used as fuel in a furnace. It smelts 1.5 blocks, which could be useful if you're really running low on coal. Some of the earliest redstone contraptions were in fact giant note block machines that would play popular songs. I remember these made the rounds way back in the day, and I always used to wonder how on earth they did it. Dispensers didn't have any special abilities until snapshot 12W03A, where they were given the ability to spawn mobs using the new Spawn X, for example, this evoker right here. Before then, they just spat out the items. It was in Minecraft 1.2.1 where dispensers really came into their own, and they were given a ton of special abilities. Obviously, the ability to spawn mobs, which you just mentioned, but also spitting out water, for example right here, lava, TNT, and all that good stuff. In January 2013, dispensers finally got the ability to be placed vertically. Before that point, the only directions that we could place them were in the 4 horizontals. They were briefly given the ability to place command blocks, but apparently that broke a lot of things, so they removed that feature. In Minecraft Pocket Edition, dispensers can be moved by pistons, but sadly in PC, that is not possible, which really upset me back in the day when I was first learning redstone, because I so wanted to make a chain gun, and I was crushed when I found out that I couldn't do it. Final dispenser related fact. They can be used to place the pumpkins on top of snow golems and also iron golems, as you just saw right there, which is something that quite a lot of people don't actually realise. The next redstone component that was added into the game after the note block and the dispenser was the repeater, which allowed us to extend out redstone signals. Now this was introduced in beta 1.3, which was released on February the 22nd, 2011. The repeater has 4 different settings for its delay, so this is 1 tick, and then we have 2 ticks right here, which is a slightly longer delay, 3 ticks, which is a slightly longer delay again, and you guessed it, 4 ticks, which is its longest delay. Now there are 10 redstone ticks in 1 second, which means that 1 redstone tick lasts 1/10 of a second, so the minimum delay on a repeater is 1/10 of a second, and the maximum delay on a repeater is 4/10 of a second, or 2/5. Repeaters are 0.125 of a block high, as you can see from my Y value on this F3 screen right here. This one is kind of redstone related, but the next component that was added was the locked chest, which was introduced on April the 1st as an April Fool's joke. Now when you opened it up, it linked you through to the Minecraft store, which was in reference to Team Fortress 2. Another redstone related April Fool's joke was the redstone bug, which was introduced in Minecraft 2.0. Now this would spawn if a redstone burnout clock was activated. Powered rails and detector rails were the next official redstone components that were added after the repeater, and they were introduced in Minecraft Beta 1.5. Before we had these luxuries, we actually had to create something known as a minecart booster track, in that you'd have two minecart tracks next to one another, and you'd use one minecart that travelled down a slope to sort of push the other minecart along momentarily to give it more momentum. It was a bit of a pain in the backside, so I'm very glad to see that powered rails did eventually come in. TNT could originally be punched to be ignited, but that was only removed on June the 30th of 2011. Now you could only ignite it using either redstone or, for example, a flint and steel. Pistons were then added in Minecraft Beta 1.7, which is the update that really got me interested in redstone. There were tons of things that became possible with these things, and I was seeing all sorts of YouTube videos popping up everywhere. Once introduced, pistons caused a lot, and I mean a lot, of duplication glitches. Mojang really struggled with this, and we were still finding them by the bucket load in 2014, which is 3 years after their release. In fact, we're probably still finding them today, it's just they have to be a heck of a lot more complicated. The redstone lamp was the next thing to be introduced in Minecraft 1.2.1, and it would switch on when it receives a redstone input. When it was first introduced into the game, it would turn off instantly as soon as that redstone input switched off, but for some reason they decided to change that in 1.2.4, giving it a 2-tick delay on the switch off. Now I'm sure all of you who have watched my videos before know about piston quasi-connectivity and all of its strange behaviours like that, and it used to be the redstone lamps could instantly update a piston, but unfortunately that got removed. In Minecraft 1.4.2, this little fella was introduced. Now I have to say, when it first got added into the game, I hated it. I thought it was an absolutely terrible addition, and to this day I still don't particularly use them because, well, I guess they just don't really click with me, but people make incredible things with the command block, so I suppose I can't hate on it too much. It cannot be found in the creative menu, and it certainly can't be gotten in survival mode. You have to type in this command right here. Obviously switch out the words mumbo jumbo for your player name, hit enter, and then it will appear in your inventory. Minecraft 1.5 was the famous redstone update. It introduced the daylight sensor, the redstone block, the hopper, the dropper, the trap chest, the comparator, the 2 weighted pressure plates, and also the activator rail. That's 8 different redstone components in one Minecraft update. Mojang, if you're watching this, it's been like, what, 4 years now? Since that? I mean, come on, surely we're due another one. When hoppers were first introduced into the game, if an item landed on the edge section right there, right on the rim, it would both go into the hopper and also stay on the edge, meaning that it would be duplicated endlessly, which was both hilarious and also very, very game-breaking. For those of you who don't know how hoppers work, they will always take from below before they go across. So for example, in this situation, the item will go right the way down to the bottom before going down into this chest. When they were first added into the game, they didn't do this. In fact, they didn't really know what they were doing. Sometimes they'd go across, sometimes they'd go down, making them a massive pain in the backside to work with. In the early Minecraft 1.5 snapshots, this is how you used to craft a hopper. Instead of using iron, it used stone. When Mojang announced that they were changing the recipe, I distinctly remember crafting thousands of hoppers so that I could save on my iron supplies. Continuing on with other additions in Minecraft 1.5, the redstone block was extremely exciting until I realised that it could not be pushed upwards by a piston without the piston getting stuck like this. Another thing that doesn't work with pistons and redstone blocks is this sort of situation. I mean, the extension works absolutely fine, but if we retract them, you can see that this redstone block powers this piston diagonally, meaning it gets stuck just like that. One thing that a lot of people don't realise about the comparator is that they can take redstone outputs through blocks. They can actually suck the power from this chest and output it out there. And the good news is that it only works in a straight line, which actually makes them really good directional power sources. Another thing that a lot of people don't realise is that comparators will take signal strength from cake, and they will give a different signal strength depending on how much cake has been eaten, which I personally think is absolutely hilarious. When they were first introduced into the game, they actually had a shorter delay than Redstone repeaters, but unfortunately this was changed, which broke a lot of my Redstone circuits that I had designed. Redstone comparators will output the same signal strength that goes into the back of them. So for example, we have a certain signal strength going in the back here, and this Redstone comparator will be giving out that exact same Redstone signal strength. Slime blocks were originally hinted towards on December the 20th, 2013 by Jeb on Twitter, and they were initially called the bouncy blocks. They were eventually added in the Bountiful update, also known as Minecraft 1.8, which released in 2014. Which makes me feel very old, because that's now 3 years ago, and I remember it like it was just yesterday. The fact that slime blocks stick to one another and can move various structures of blocks isn't actually thanks to Team Mojang, it's thanks to some chaps on the ZipCrowd server who coded it all together and sent it over to Mojang, and they liked it so much that they put it directly into the game. Now I've been told that rabbits don't jump on slime blocks, so let's do a quick experiment. No, I guess that is true. When vertically launched by a slime block, you generally travel 6.4 blocks high, which is actually quite a lot higher than I was expecting. When being punched horizontally by a slime block, however, you only travel 3.5 blocks, as you can see right here, which... Oh yeah, I suppose there was a vertical element in my experiment there, I'm a total moron. Pistons can push a maximum of 12 blocks in total, and that includes slime block structures. So right here we have got a 12 block area, and if we place one block on the top, you can see nothing. Now this is a number that can actually be changed in the code. It's just right there, and I kind of wish they would, because imagine how cool the flying machines would be. These little fellas, also known as the Observers, are the latest Minecraft PC Redstone edition. However, they have been in Pocket Edition for ages, since May the 2nd, 2016. Now I personally absolutely love the texture and the face of the Observer, but originally this thing right here was rejected, and Observers rolled out with a different texture that was then reverted back to this one. When Observers receive a block update of any kind to their face, they will give a 1-tick pulse as an output of a signal strength of 15, which isn't how they used to be upon release. It used to be a signal strength of 1. They will also give a redstone output when they are moved by a piston, as you can see right here, which makes them incredibly useful for flying machines, and I've been using them a ton. In Minecraft Pocket Edition, they detect totally different things to what they detect in Minecraft PC Edition, which is something that I totally wasn't expecting. The shulker box was added alongside the Observer as the first placeable container in Minecraft, and I'm classing this as a redstone update because my shulker box is filled with redstone. I promise you, that's good enough. But it does of course have some redstone applications because it can be dispensed by a dispenser and broken by a piston, making it the first movable storage system in Minecraft, which is actually massive news. I would say that's one of the biggest redstone update in ages. This one isn't so redstone related, but I get asked it quite often. No, you cannot place a shulker box inside another shulker box, even though that would be amazing. And the final fact that I want to tell you in today's video is a bit of a secret one. For those who don't know, if you flick a lever to the tune of Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up for 100 seconds, 100 full seconds, you will get an inventory full of diamonds. So we have it guys, that rounds up today's video on 60 different redstone facts in Minecraft. Remember to head down to the comment section and let me know how many you already knew, and if you knew the last one then I'm incredibly impressed because people tend to keep that one way under wraps. Mojang really don't want people to know about that one, so please make sure that you don't tell them that I told you, because that would be really bad news. But unfortunately, ladies and gents, that is all I've got time for today. If you did enjoy this video, please hit that like button, and if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching guys, this has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.